Hey, this is the Justin, and this is part two of my Sony rant, um, which is basically a video response to some message that I got from a friend on Facebook who, let's face it, I need to break down things for him because he's a little bit slow. Um, okay, so part one I was talking about all things Sony didn't do, all things they didn't deliver on. Okay, just a quick recap. That's exclusives, exclusives people want to play, uh, good online support, a fantastic Blu-ray player, which is okay. It's okay Blu-ray player, and graphics. I want to talk about 360 now. 360 reason. This is what people need to understand about Xbox 360. This is the primary thing that people just don't get, and that Sony fans don't get. I take that back. Things that Sony fans do get, but yet they look over it. Xbox 360, when it released first, it was the first look at the next generation. Every game that we were going to be playing for the rest of our lives came out first on the Xbox 360. I mean, the way it looked, the way it played, it was just magnificent. I remember at the time I had an Xbox, just the first one. I didn't get my 360 yet, and I was playing King Kong. I had rented King Kong, and it was a good game. I loved it. Then, about 2 months later, I got my 360, and my first game was King Kong on a 360, and it was a completely different experience. I actually want to go back and probably get that game again because it was so cool. It just looked like the movie. At the time, I don't know how it looks now. It probably hasn't aged that well, but it looked like the movie. It just, the sound quality was better. Just everything was better. And that was the thing that Microsoft wanted to do. They wanted to be, that preemptive strike. You know, last gen they were defending against, the onslaught of PlayStation 2. You know, they were like, okay, let's do the greatest defense, which is a good offense, and that's what they did. But the thing is that they have been consistent. They have been consistent ever since that late 2006 when they first entered the war, when they started the war. Um, they have had good game after good game after good game. I just talk about exclusives. I have good multi-platform games too. Um, and people say, well, that's gonna always be the case. It's a good game. Well, no, no, that isn't always the case. Sometimes a game could do better on one platform just all the way around than another platform. But they have been coming out with, okay, if you're gonna get this on any system, get it on this system. Which is the reason why, when it comes to games like Arkham Asylum, Sony has to use gimmicks. And they have to, well, okay, well, you get on Xbox, but if you get on PlayStation 3, you get to play a Joker. Gimmicky. Come on. How can you not see that? And that's because everyone in the industry knows that right now, 360 is a threat. It's a threat. It's more than a threat now. I take that back. It's in very, very it's a very good chance that it may be running the industry if it keeps on going like this. If the next console generation comes out like this, it's gonna be 360. And unless PlayStation can come out with some good stuff, unless Sony can just get their act together, it's gonna be over for them. They're gonna become, the Sega of our generation, which I don't want to happen. I used to be a Sony fan. PlayStation 1, that was, to me, still like the standard of video games, video game consoles. but right now they're not what they used to be, and to me that's what a lot of fans are, are relying on. Like my friend online, she made a very good point, saying, that they're kind of just like laid back and lazy. And I've always thought that, that they kind of won their war. They didn't have to really come out the box as strong because they thought everything they was doing was innovative. When they don't even notice that threat next door, they don't even notice, that Microsoft is just beating the crap out of them. But Sony fans like, whatever, we're still the best, and it's because they still have that. They have that old that old beauty pageant queen syndrome, where it's like, oh, I'm still beautiful. I used to be beautiful, and I still am beautiful. And she's like a 94-year-old, mustache toting old hag. Yet she still thinks that she's like this beautiful swan, and it's like, do you not see the wrinkles? PS3 fans, do you not see what's wrong with your system? Do you not see it? I mean, we fans tell you the first thing, well, we don't have the best graphics. We don't always get the best games. But they are okay with what they get because they love their system. They are loyal to Nintendo. But they will tell you what's wrong with it. They're overly kiddie, 360 fans, we had the red ring problem for the longest time. Still don't really know if it's fixed. It's just not as widely spoken of as it used to be. Red ring problem. Um, we used to talk about how we need more exclusives. We need to stop giving exclusives to, other platforms. Things like that. We understood what was wrong with our system. Sony, on the other hand, Sony fans don't think there's anything wrong with it. They will not admit one thing, and that is what irritates me. Because there's so many things. If anybody, PlayStation 3 is like in third place right now. It's so many things. So many things that's wrong with their system. And the thing about Microsoft, that they actually fix what's wrong, we get constant updates, constant patches. I mean, it's an ever evolving, ever changing world. My 360, when I first took it out the box, is nowhere near the 360 that I have today. They are two completely different experiences. Everything from the menus to the games, like it's an evolution within the generation that would take other generations before this years to do. I mean, years. I mean, even look at the Kinect. Now, the Kinect is a concept that was, not, I'm not gonna say started by Wii, but as far as home consoles go, yes, it was initiated by Wii, and Microsoft's answer to it is head and shoulders over the Wii. PlayStation's Sony's answer, the Move, nobody wants that. Nobody's talking about that. It's a step down from the Wii because it's two controllers. Um, so it's end up me being like a bashing video of PlayStation 3, but I don't care because they need to get their act together. Leave some comments below, or hit me on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe.